Alright, Mr. Mistress, Thursday, October 28th, 2021, another huge book sale day. Now, when I say huge, I'm talking I can't sleep before this book sale. Not because my mind's focused on the book sale, but because last night I didn't come home from the warehouse till like 4:30 a.m. And guess what time I wanted to be at the book sale line? 7 a.m. That way I could drop my box and be one of the first people in line. So you know what I did last night? I went home around 4:30, like I said. I ate food and I just went in the car and drove on over to Southbury Library because that's where the book sale is going to be. Now, if you've been following my Instagram, you might have seen that I have a connection with Southbury Library. Who is Southbury Library? Well, back in the spring, on the day of my graduation from college, I'm not kidding you, the morning of my graduation, I went to this book sale in Southbury. And I was the only dealer there. I was the only one picking up books to resell. I showed up early that day, per the usual, and I saw the friends of the library kind of struggling to set up the sale. So I offered my help. All I did was say, hey, do you guys want some help? And they were like, yes, of course, you're a young, strong man. Please come help us. All I did was move books from the basement to the cart and then outside onto the tables. They were very grateful, very nice people, and at the end of the sale, they said, we really appreciate your help, so how about you make a connection with us? You could come down this week to pick up more books for yourself. And when I came that week with John, oh my lord, the library in the basement with all those books is freaking huge. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of books. 8,100 square feet big, which is what I found out at this book sale today. That is a hell of a lot of books. My warehouse is 1,700 square feet. Imagine basically 5 times that size. That is insane. So, knowing the potential profits coming from this book sale, I could not miss it for 1 second. That's why I recruited John to actually meet me at this book sale. But I don't require John to be as dedicated as I am to this book sale stuff because he's got school going on. Plus, I don't need to pay him for the extra time for him to just wait. So, instead of him showing up when I did at 5:30, I told him to come just before 9, maybe 8:30, because at 9 they start giving out numbers for the line. So that's when he came. However, when I came at 5:30, I just sat in the warm car, threw on my phone on the car magnet, and started watching some YouTube on the public Wi-Fi. What did I watch on YouTube, you may ask? Well, the one and only Steve Will Do It and Milk. I haven't watched some of their stuff in a while, and they've posted some new stuff since, so I decided to watch it. I watched the new Milk video, I think taking 5 virgins to a club to try to get them laid. I guess it didn't get done in the first video, so they're making it part 2. Comment if you like that video. I watched some Steve Will Do It videos too, and I also watched a history buff video about the Gladiator movie. So, for some reason, this Gladiator movie has been popping up in my YouTube feed. They want to show me some clips or something, and they're pretty freaking cool. It's just gladiator scenes from the movie Gladiator, where Russell Crowe starts to dominate some of these gladiators and show them who's boss. So I got really into it these past couple days. Every time I take a break from working, I kind of just throw on one of those videos. It's like a 4-minute clip. I highly recommend you watch it. And it really got me thinking, like, what's the meaning behind all this stuff? Like, what's going on in Rome for this gladiator stuff to happen? So I just figured I'd watch a 30-minute YouTube video documentary about the history of the Gladiator movie. Apparently, it's not very historically accurate, but there's some stuff in there that is super interesting. Okay, so by the time I was done watching all these videos, 7:30 came along, and that's when more people started to show up, like Mr. Jim, the one and only Jim who goes to these book sales, Stan, and some other older booksellers that always go to these sales, who've been probably going for years, and Mark Konopka's even seen some of these guys before. I didn't really feel like talking to them because, as you know, I'm going off no sleep most days, so I just sat in the car and waited for the line numbers to start being given out. John also showed up before 9, and him and I went to our spots in the line where I dropped my box, and we ended up getting numbers 18 and 19. The reason we got 18 and 19 is because there were people who were idiots and dropped their boxes last night. I don't know where these people come from to drop their boxes. It's really freaking annoying. I know I've done it once at the Simsbury Library book sale, and it really helped me out. But why is it so common for people to drive to these libraries the night before and drop their boxes? That's really unfair. It should be the morning of. If I'm a friends of the library and I see boxes the night before, I'm throwing them in the trash. It's the easy way out for these book dealers to come and get their spots in line. Not fair at all. But I couldn't complain about spots 18 and 19 because later today I found out that there was around 100 dealers who attended this sale. So I'm in the first 20% of people, which is pretty good. There was another hour to kill before 9 a.m. when the numbers were given out and 10 a.m. when the book sale starts. So I decided to talk to the friends of the library host, John. Now, I don't know if you've seen John. He's been on my Instagram. He's the one who invited me back in the spring on my graduation day to come the next week to take some books for myself to resell online. Obviously, I paid the price. I get a bulk deal. But John and I have this nice connection, so he told me, like, after the sale, feel free to give him a call to come pick up some remainders. I gotta think about whether I want to do that or not, because recently they've been trying to, like, charge me more for these books, and I don't know if there's gonna be a lot good stuff left over. At the same time, I like to have books fresh in my inventory. I also want to keep filling these shelves, so I gotta think about it. I'll give him a call next week, maybe. So now the time you've been waiting for, book sale time. 10 a.m. starts. I rush in like a madman. I immediately hit the education textbook section. I only get a couple textbooks because the section is so small, and then after that, I kind of move into some other nonfiction stuff like math, science, and then I hit the crafts and gardening and animal section, and I'm telling you, the books I'm picking out here are freaking great condition, some $100 plus books, some $50 plus books, a whole lot of profit. I fill up like 2-3 bags really freaking quick, and then I have to get some boxes from the lady who's part of the friends so that I can start filling up more. John's also hustling. I don't know where he is. I don't see him at all. I'm laser focused on my stuff, and there's other people all around me doing the same thing. Everybody's like in a mad rush because I don't think anybody's expecting this sale to be that big. Honestly, by the time the first hour's over, like, it kind of dies down and I feel like most of the good stuff is gone. But I feel like there's a lot of these older dealers who don't feel like bending to the bottom of the shelves to scan all this stuff there and pick out what they want. So I start to sit on the floor, go shelf by shelf on the bottom shelves, and start to scan the stuff, and I start to find some stuff. That means nobody else has been scanning them. People are lazy. They want to stand up and do things eye level. Nobody wants to reach up. Nobody wants to go on their knees and take stuff from the bottom. So I'm young. John's young. We figure we do that, and it works out well for me. Once I feel all set with scanning, I start to go to the art section and some of the higher value coffee table book sections and try to pick out some stuff via my eyesight. Now, when I pick out some stuff with my eyeballs, I do what Mr. Jim has told me at one of these sales. He told me that you want to look for stuff that you haven't seen before, like certain publishers. If you haven't seen a publisher's name on the binding of a book before, it's probably going to be a good book, so you might as well take it up and research it. So when I start to pick out stuff from the art section, I'm looking for stuff other than like Smithsonian or MoMA. Anything else I'm interested in. I use my Amazon seller app to scan the cover, or I type in the ISBN, or I do an eBay search to check the sold and comps. Anytime I find something good, I put it in the bag. Anytime something's not good, I kind of just leave it. There's not many other booksellers that do this type of thing, except for Mr. Jim and like the guys who have knowledge. All the book scanners, they always pass up on the no barcode stuff. So that's a good place for me to exploit. It ends up working for me well too there, some more $50 plus books. I'm happy with what I get, but I feel like there's so much more that hasn't been scanned, like the fiction section, so I just go over there and start scanning fiction stuff. Now when it comes to fiction, I like the newer fiction, so a lot of the stuff that has like textured covers, which is new, I kind of look for those and I scan those, and I found that they're pretty good usually. I found like a whole series of them. They're not really manga stuff, they're like short novels, and I found a whole series that's like numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of them was scanned good, so I'm like, screw it, I'm just gonna take them all, maybe lot them if I need to. John has to leave to go to class before noon, so he does that. I actually think he left a bit later than noon. I don't know if he made it to class or not, I didn't ask. And I stayed till pretty much the end of the dealer section of the sale, which ends at 2 p.m. I talked to John, I talked to Ken, I talked to the ladies, but I'm freaking exhausted. I am on no sleep. My knees hurt from bending over. I'm winded. I look gross because I'm all sweaty because it's hot in the basement and I had a coat on, actually 2 coats on before the sale started, and I didn't take them off until mid-sale to cover my bags. So I make my transactions quick and I bring all this stuff to the car. I bring the cart back and then I'm on my way home. The way home was a freaking mess, let me tell you. I was operating off no sleep, driving the most boring drive of my life with no sunglasses on because I left them at the warehouse and the sun shining in my eyes. So you know what I'm gonna obviously do? I'm gonna close my eyes and start swerving. I catch myself, which is nice, but I get really freaking freaked out at myself. I even text Dustin and I asked Dustin, yo, do you recommend like an energy drink or something? And he hits me back with 5-hour energy. So I actually stop and I pick up a 5-hour energy. I've never had one of these in my life, and let me tell you, it freaking worked like a charm. I highly recommend 5-hour energy. Don't get addicted. Try it at least once when you need to. If you have to grind something out, like if you're in school, you have to grind out an essay overnight, don't do the Adderall. Just try to take a 5-hour energy. See if it helps. There may be another instance this coming week where I need another 5-hour energy. We'll see, but I don't want to become dependent on the stuff. Just like I'm not dependent on coffee. I never drink coffee. I like the taste. I like coffee ice cream, but coffee I feel like is a dependence thing. I don't want to have to wake up and make myself coffee or even buy coffee. It's a waste of money too. Don't worry, like it freaking tastes good. I like to have a coffee like Maybe every once in a while, just for the taste, I have a little thing of it, or I have the ice cream like I said. But like straight up black coffee, just to get myself zoned in for the day, nah, I can't do that. So thanks to Mr. Dustin's suggestion, I make myself home safely, and I just tell Mom straight up, hey, I can't be driving again today, but I have an appointment for an I-9 verification with my passport in Bristol for my new Trinity Health St. Francis nursing job. So she says, fine, I'll take you. So she drives me to Bristol. I look for this place. It's called Letterbox. Apparently, they're like a consulting company, and they do work for the post office and for like HR offices at big corporations. So I walk in there, and I tell the guy, hey, I have an appointment with this confirmation number. He's like, oh, okay, just I need to see your ID, either passport or 2 other things. So I give him my passport. He scans, and then he tells me I'm all set. I'm super happy about how quick it was because all I want to do is go home and sleep. I get in the car, Mom brings me home, I eat some food real quick, and then I just take a nap. That's all I do. I take a nap. Later on that night, I'll tell you this, my friends show up for poker. Now, who are these friends showing up for poker? Well, it's Mr. Wayne, it's Rohan, and it's John and Wayne's friend Alan. I don't know Alan. I've never met him before. Apparently, he plays volleyball and also soccer. John invited him to poker because he plays poker too. So we had ourselves a poker game. It was those guys, me, John, and Marek. We got the poker game started in the basement, had a good time. I got into some feisty hands with Alan. He likes to play a lot of hands, so I tried to exploit, I guess. I don't know. I'm not that big of a poker player anymore. I used to be. We used to play like every freaking day. It was weird, but it was also mad fun. So I just decided to have fun tonight. I played a lot of hands. Wayne got me on one, but I also got Wayne on one, so we kind of evened each other out. I went all in, and he had to fold after he had a lot of money in. Then he went all in, and I freaking called, but I had him covered by a lot, so it was okay. Alan turned out the loser. John lost some money. I think Marek was pretty much even. Rohan might have been down a little bit. It doesn't really matter. We're just there to have a good time, and it was certainly a good time. We finished up around 1:30, 2 a.m., and then Wayne went home, then Rohan went home. I went to sleep on the couch because tomorrow's going to be another big day. I got to wake up early. We're going to be going to Boston. You'll hear about the Boston trip in the upcoming videos. If you look forward to Boston, feel free to leave a like. I hope you like what I have to say on this Boston trip. There's not much business-wise going on these trips because I'm solely there to have a good time. We're supposed to go to Six Flags tomorrow on Friday, and maybe the casino too, and then get some grub, and maybe hit a club after. And then Saturday's the big day. We're going to get some food in the morning. We're going to go to Boston, do some sightseeing. And then after that, we're going to get ready for the huge Halloween party going on Tremont Street at this Royale Boston Hotel. They're supposed to have a huge Halloween party. The ticket prices were originally $25, but they went up in value over the past week to like $75, which is insane. I'm pretty sure they're going to get sold out. It's super hype, so I'm looking forward to have a good time. I've never been to a Halloween party that big. You will hear about it for sure. Till then, peace.